right, guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and let's jump right into it, guys. We're definitely going to talk a little bit about Baltimore. What happened in Baltimore, the state of the team, what's going on with the coaching staff, and all of that. We'll take a little bit of a different approach, guys. It's not really a lot to talk about in terms of good from Sunday's game, with the exception of Ryan Shazier. I think Ryan Shazier played a great game. I think we had a nice end to the game, so to speak. Even though Baltimore may have adjusted their defense slightly, I still think, the way we played like that, I needed to see more of that. And I'll get into that here in just a moment. But it was good to at least see some type of rhythm take place. You see Eli Rogers being able to be successful. Antonio Brown finally gets in the end zone. Ben's mobility, all of that, looking pretty good in the end of that fourth quarter. So like I said, I'll address that here in just a moment because that was one of the things that I was questioning before, I saw that. So we'll get into that in just a moment. But outside of that, guys, there's not a whole lot good to talk about. But I did want to address a few things. Got a few notes here. Penalties. We have to find a way to eliminate these penalties. We have gotten entirely too many penalties in the last 2 weeks, which is something that we started off doing very well. We were near the top of the NFL with the fewer penalties. Now, we're creeping down to the midpoint or the low point. I haven't checked the numbers, but I believe we've gotten like 20 plus penalties in the last several weeks. That's unacceptable. We have to stop that, and a lot of them, like Coach Tomlin said in his press conference, are procedural things. Things like that we can control. We got to stop that. The roughing the kicker that they called against us, I didn't really like that one. That was a little questionable. I don't think that was roughing, but it is what it is. Another thing, a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing, guys, as well, is a lot of player issues. There are some coaching things I had an issue with. I'll talk about that here in just a moment. But with all that being said, I'm going to continue the message that I always say. Listen, people are always so angry when the Steelers lose as far as, it's Tomlin's fault. Tomlin needs to go. Of course, we all can look at the record that he's had in the last several years against, teams that are under 500. It's not good. There's no way around that. That is a fact, and I don't disagree with that. But the part where I differ from a lot of other people, I don't think that fully falls on the coach. I think it kind of falls on the players as well not getting it done, because I understand a coach is supposed to have their team ready, but that's something that we're looking at from a bird's eye view. How do we know that the team is not ready? Are we saying that just because they didn't perform? There's no way for any of us viewers to know that the team wasn't ready because the coach didn't have them ready. I refuse to believe that. All of the stuff that you hear from the players in regards to Tomlin, both current and past, I just don't believe that he's the problem. I don't believe that he doesn't motivate his team. He's not a player's coach. He's not a guy that, that has lost the locker room. I don't believe that, not one bit. If you listen to Cook and Pony's show, they were saying that as well. I forgot which one of them. I believe Pony was saying it. They were saying the same thing. It's like, this guy hasn't lost the locker room. Now, there are some things you can look at and be like, under his watch, yeah, we're not that great against teams that are under 500. I don't know what that's all about. I'm not, willing to concede that it's Tomlin. I just don't feel that. That's just how I feel. I could be wrong, but like I said, his track record as far as his player relationship, what players have to say about him, current and past, that means a lot. That speaks volumes to me. And the fact that he's never had a losing season. I understand that, we're not playing against teams that we should be beating up like the Patriots do. I will give them all credit. Patriots usually blow out teams they're supposed to blow out. The Steelers, for some reason, we haven't had that pedigree. And I don't know what it's going to take. But, we definitely needed to develop that mentality that we go out there and perform regardless of who's out there, how high or how low the competition is, and we do our business. Are you going to win every game? Absolutely not. But you need to play like you are. You need to perform like you are. We shouldn't have consecutive weeks where we're looking at an area of the team and we can say this part of the team played very bad, and it's like consecutive times that they've done that. Or there's numerous games that you say that. How many games have we been able to look at this season and we just said, oh, they just lost that. It was a great battle. They just came up short. None of them. Not even the Baltimore game, because that was late. We got it going late, but there were a lot of reasons early in that game, particularly the first 3 quarters, why we didn't win. So that part of it, we got to find a way to have the killer instinct and put up the best effort every single time. Put whole games together like we did against the Redskins for the most part, even better against the Chiefs, which is a 6-2 team right now. But we have those letdowns when it comes to a game like, I'm not even going to say Philly, because Philly just had our number that day. They outplayed us. You got to give them their credit. But like Miami, you get beat like that against Miami? No, it's not supposed to happen. If you're this team that's supposed to be a team that's a perennial, playoff team or a contender for the Super Bowl, nah, you don't lose like that. Because the New England Patriots don't lose like that. A lot of the big teams. Last night's game, Seattle and Buffalo. That was a gritty game, and that's a game where Buffalo could look up, at the scoreboard and be like, you know what, we had chances. But everybody came to play for the most part. That's what I'm saying. I don't see that from our Steelers. All right, but sorry for the mini rant there, guys. I just, a lot of thoughts are going through my mind. So let me get to, the meat of this video so I can, quickly get in and out. I don't want to hold you guys too long. Here's the thing. We're not consistent, and that's really it. Again, I don't think that really falls on the coach. Prime example, look at some of the things that we did in that game. The block kick. What was Sean Davis doing? I don't know the play call, but I would assume that you don't allow a guy to just come right by you. If you look at that replay, Sean Davis just let the guy go right by him. Never attempted to block him. To me, that's not a coaching issue. Unless there was some kind of play that Danny Smith called, which I don't believe in that scenario. But that's a mental mistake. That's not, That's not on the coach. Now let's get to the coaching. I was one of the first ones to say after seeing Ben 2 or 3 series, maybe 3 or 4 series, I was like, I don't know, he don't look right. Maybe we shouldn't have started him. Maybe we should have let Landry Jones go out there and play. Maybe Ben's not ready, because Ben doesn't have a good history as well. When he comes back off an injury early, his track record is not that great as far as wins. It's a very low percentage, right? But then, when I see how he performed in the 4th quarter, not just being able to move the offense, but the way he's mobile, and he runs in for a touchdown. So I'm looking at that like, okay, so I can't blame the coaches now, because obviously he was ready to play. Now I got to put a lot of it on him. As much as I love Big Ben, y'all know I'm going to call everybody out. I'm fair. I don't know what Ben was doing in the first 3 quarters. He didn't look like himself. There were numerous times, at least 2 that I can remember. It might be 3, but there were at least 2 situations where it should have been a pick, and the defense dropped it. There were balls thrown where the receiver and Roethlisberger wasn't on the same page. I remember a couple times it happened with Antonio Brown. I don't know what was going on. I knew people who actually at the game. My cousin, the guy I always talk about, my cousin Floyd was at the game, and we're tweeting back and forth, we're texting back and forth, and he's telling me, yo, Ben don't look right. He looks jittery, he looks nervous. And we all can see that. So part of that blame I got to put on Ben. The interception that he did end up throwing won't necessarily his fault. The guy bats the ball down, so you can't take that one, and put it all on him. But he just didn't look right through the first 3 quarters, right? So here's my coaching. What's going on with the offense? I got to blame Todd Haley, number 1. And I got to give Tomlin a little bit of that blame, because you're the head coach. You're supposed to be the guy that vetoes decisions or overrides things. I don't understand those run plays that we were running. Like, it's not going to work with 8 and 9 in the box. If you're going to run the ball, you got to spread it out. Go in shotgun and run off tackles or inside zones, or even if you're going to do single back, spread them out. Put 3 receivers in formation or 4 receivers and 1 back, and that way the defense has to spread out. You can't run the ball tight like that against the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens have been good against the run, and they're traditionally good against the run. Now, granted, Le'Veon Bell rushed for 129 yards and a touchdown the last time he faced the Ravens defense. So I understand the game plan coming in, but my thing is, when it wasn't working, what took us so long to spread it out and going into the no huddle? Ben is so efficient in the no huddle, and it seems like we only use it when we need to. That part of the offense and that part of the coaching, I can't agree with. Why not come out and attack? You know, think about the glory days of a Peyton Manning when they used to just come out, no huddle, and they put the defense on their heels. And the fact that we're good at it, Ben is great calling his own plays. Why don't we go to that more often is what I don't understand. My only thing is I think maybe they were trying to protect Ben. That was my thought watching the game play out. Maybe he's not all the way there. They may have come in with a game plan. They're going to limit the amount of, pass attempts. He might not be there. You don't want to put him in that many vulnerable situations. That's possible. But like I said, once I saw his performance and how gritty he played in the fourth, all of that went out the window. Now I got to look back at the coaching. Like, what's up? What we doing here? That's where I blame coaching. I judge coaches on decision making. I don't always judge coaches on record. Because all of the analysts are doing that, and the guys who are getting real analytical, they look at his record against these type of opponents. Okay, you have to acknowledge that. But again, something else I heard today on Cook and Pony Show, and shout outs to them. And I get these guys mixed up. I don't know which one is Cook and who is Pony. I think the younger one is Pony, I believe. But that guy, he was saying, look at last year. We were at the exact same spot. And then Tomlin got the team together, held them together. We went on a 6-2 run in the second half, got into the playoffs. We did need help. We acknowledge that. But the fact that you end up 10-6, and you see what I'm saying? We went on a nice run, and when things like that happen, then what do you say about the coach? Then you see people saying, oh, he's the greatest coach. He kept those guys motivated. But now, right here in the next season, because they're down and they're losing some games, now he's not a great coach. I'm just saying, and I've always been a component of this. To me, coaches get too much credit when they win and too much credit when they lose. Like I've always said, and this is my firm belief, coaches make decisions. Coaches initiate the game plan. Coaches make the calls. The players execute. And when you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and the games that we've won and lost, can we not agree that in most cases, I'm not saying 100%, but in most cases it was the players performing or lack thereof, the run defense in Miami. I don't believe that's a coaching issue. Now, we were down a couple players in that game, but y'all understand what I'm saying. So that's why I don't always put things on the coaches. And like I said, I still believe that Mike Tomlin is a phenomenal coach, and I will end it with this. Let's say, for some strange reason, Tomlin's not there no more. Who's his replacement? Who's the guy sitting out there right now that's going to come in the year after Tomlin and take the Steelers to the Super Bowl? So people who think he needs to go, you think we're going to get a new coach, and as soon as this new coach comes in, we're a different team all the way. Right out the bat, we going all the way. We already ready now. No, it would take some years for that guy to get it going. You understand what I'm saying? So, and excuse the noise in the background, guys. That's my work computer. Excuse that. I apologize. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here, guys. I'm just saying, they got to get it together. They have to find a way to be consistent. They have to find a way to play the game that they should be capable of playing. They have to find a way to play solid on defense and offense every time. I don't expect the team to go undefeated. We're going to lose some games. All I'm saying is I need to see a concerted effort every time. I'm tired of seeing situations where now the defense ain't, and think about it. And the offense that's really not the area that you're really concerned with. The defense showed up. We stopped the run. We gave up the big play. Artie Burns is going to take his lumps. He got his pick. But then, he admitted himself he didn't play far enough upfield or whatever against the slant play on Wallace. He gives up a big play. It happens. Outside of that, defense played well. Held the Ravens to 52 yards rushing. Now, if we can put together that type of defense, now Dallas is a different animal, but if we can muster holding down the run game, we got a chance. I will always say we have a chance because of the talent on the team. My only thing with us is we are a Jekyll and Hyde team. That's the only thing that bothers me about our Pittsburgh Steelers. You never know what team is going to come to play. If they can meet in the middle somewhere, they are a problem for any team in the NFL, and that's just my opinion. Because of the talent on offense and the defense being respectable, that should get you in the playoffs. So that's all we got today, guys. I just had to talk about that. Oh, last thing. That onside kick, I was a little pissed with Chris Boswell until I found out that he actually successfully pulled it off in college. And Tomlin said in his press conference, I've seen him do it several times in practice, so I ain't as mad no more, but it just looked crazy during the moment. Buckle up. Don't crack under pressure. But that's all I got for you guys, man. My time is up. We'll see what happens here in Dallas. It's the second half of the season. Let's see what happens. If we can put a 6-2 run together, we'll be okay. If not, maybe next year. We'll see how these boys buckle down and go out there and play ball. All right, guys, so real quick here, you're going to see a screaming face right up here. Go ahead and click on that to sub to the channel. And definitely don't forget to leave your thoughts, leave your comments, and I promise, never hurt you to hit that like button. All right, guys, until next time, peace.